Welcome, Anna, to the Flagstaff Gallery. Can you please tell us a bit about your background with regard to art and how you got involved in being a professional artist?
My father is an artist and he was a solo dad, so I spent a lot of time as a child drawing and travelling on drawing trips with him to landscape locations, and my brother and I would just draw really to keep ourselves amused. So I went to Penrose the high school because it had a very good art department at the time, and that coincided with the emergence of punk rock as the youth movement, which I was involved in, and that was really inspiring, and it was all about doing it yourself and a real can-do attitude. Then I studied at Elam and just fell in love with making art and realised that that was always going to be a part of my life.
You work in pastel. Why do you choose to work in this medium?
For the intensity of the colours. I think you can get colours in pastel that you can't get in any other medium, and the immediacy of expression. I've always loved drawing, and I think you can get real feeling of movement with the pastels.
What is the primary motivation behind your work?
I'm interested in finding pattern, colour and structure in my work, so I'm interested in finding those things in the landscape and the flora and fauna, and as a keen gardener I'm really inspired by the plants and shapes of the New Zealand landscape and the plants of New Zealand.
There seems to be a prominence of lines and hard edges and geometry in your work. Is this something that you feel you're drawn to?
Yeah, I really like to find the structure, I think, and and the pattern, so I'll see something and I'll try and make a pattern out of it.
What themes or issues do you wish the viewer to take away with them when they look at your work?
I hope that people have an emotional response to my work and they respond in some way that gives them some sort of feeling, and they go away with that, whether it's excitement or happiness or...
Would you say that affects your choice of colour?
Yeah, absolutely. I love colour. I love intense colours. I try to tone it down, but it just doesn't happen. So I'm a real colourist.
What artists have influenced you besides the punk rock?
I suppose I was taught at art school. I was taught by Don Binney and Dick Frizzell, so I like their work. But I think the major influence was Rita Angus. I pore over her books of her work and analyse how she draws things and the structure of her work. And I think as an early New Zealand artist, she was really brave, and I think I just love the way she represents New Zealand. I also am really inspired by the Cook Islands. I spend a lot of time there, so it's not really an artist, but it's a place that's a culture that's very creative. I love the te vai vai, the shapes, the simplifying the flowers into the te vai vai quilts, and I love the way that Cook Islanders use the flowers for making headaches and leis for their neck, around their necks, and I love the dancing and the costumes that they make for the dancing. So I love to spend time there also because I love the intensity of the colours, and I think the bright turquoise of the lagoon and the really bright flowers, and I think that New Zealand is really linked in with the Pacific.
Would you say New Zealand has influenced your work?
New Zealand's a great place to create art with its incredible landscapes. I'm particularly drawn to the spot where the land meets the sea, the coast. I think that's a really magic sort of spot, and I think as New Zealanders we relate to the ocean because it's an island, so
Are there any challenges you face creating work in New Zealand?
No, I don't think so. I think New Zealand's a great place to create art because there's so much variety of landscape and such variety of flora and fauna. I find New Zealand really inspiring.
There seems to be a focus on creativity in New Zealand. Do you think that has affected you in any way?
Yeah, I think it's a very supportive, creative environment. I think New Zealanders are very supportive of their artists and craftspeople, and I think that's. I think there's more artists per head of population artists and writers per head of population in New Zealand than just about anywhere in the world, and I think that's part of New Zealanders finding a national identity. Yeah.
What excites you most about going to New York?
I hope that the people like what I do. I think, and also I love travelling and meeting new people and talking to new people and having new experiences. So, yeah.
What do you think you'll bring to the exhibition?
I hope that I take a little bit of the Pacific up to New York, and I think that it's really interesting to bring the vibrancy of the colours and the patterns of the Pacific up to the other side of the planet, to New York, that's sort of so hard and with lots of skyscrapers and things, but also New York's a really vibrant place as well, so hopefully that'll be a meeting of cultures.
Do you think New York will influence your work in any way?
Oh, I don't know, I have to wait and see.
And finally, what are your thoughts on the Flagstaff Gallery bringing New Zealand art to New York?
Well, I hope that the Flagstaff can bring a unique New Zealand look and the unique Flagstaff look to New York, because there's been New Zealand work go before, but I think Flagstaff's got a unique sort of kind of look on it.
Brilliant.